In South Dakota, only Republicans could vote in this week's runoff election, and that rule had some voters switching their party registrations so they could cast a ballot. Between June 2nd and July 28th, state records say South Dakota lost more than 4,300 Democrats, independents, libertarians, and voters without a party affiliation. During that same time, the number of Republicans grew. However, those changes weren't enough to affect the outcome of the election. Governor Larry Roden defeated Aberdeen businessman Toby Doden by more than 49,000 votes. But it's still a part of South Dakota's political history in 2026. Tonight, KELOLAND's Dan Santella finds out what the chairs of the South Dakota Republican and Democratic parties have to say about it. He also catches up with a pair of voters who switched their registrations to cast a ballot.
Current South Dakota Governor Larry Roden will be his party's nominee in this fall's general election against Democratic nominee Dan Ahlers. While it's not clear exactly how many voters switched their registration to vote in this primary, here are two who did. The retired Sharon Stroshine of rural Brown County and Knock Thatch of Sioux Falls, who works in communications and marketing.
My identity is not tied to a party. I've been an independent all of my life. I think that switching party affiliation is basically switching an administrative category more than anything else.
I am very supportive of open primaries, and then we would have never had to do this. But because of that, I had to go to the courthouse, re-register ahead of time.
Stroshine was a lifelong Democrat before she switched to become a Republican before the July 13th deadline. She voted in the runoff and is already again a registered Democrat.
I did the only thing I could legally, and it was to switch.
Thatch was an independent, but switched to the GOP for the primary in early June and this week's runoff. And as far as her future affiliation, well, she says that's undecided today.
I think that we should all focus on the choices ahead of us in November.
Republicans and Democrats disagree on many, many issues. But on this one, the chairs of the South Dakota GOP and South Dakota Dems have some common ground. They're not thrilled with the idea of short-term jumping between parties.
I think it's petty to jump back and forth, meddle in another party's operations. If they can't put a strong enough platform and principles together for their party to get candidates elected, then they need to work on their party.
I'm not necessarily a fan of it because it hurts our ability to organize and fundraise and keep our lists accurate.
Still, Merrill says he understands the reasoning.
I can totally see from a moral aspect why they did it, but hopefully we can get them to come home.
And Eschenbaum has a wish for anyone who has changed sides.
If you're going to switch to the Republican Party, stay there and give us a try for a while.
Dan Santella, KELOLAND News.
Now, voters will be heading back to the polls one last time in just a few months. The general election is set for Tuesday, November 3rd. Absentee voting will begin September 18th, and the last day to register to vote will be October 19th. Now, as always, you can go to your election headquarters page on our website for the latest stories, updates, and election results.